And we're live once again on another Tuesday, and I have a special video guest in the house today. It's always so fun to have somebody who's just as much a video nerd as me. So we have Clare Carroll in the house tonight. Today. I don't even know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. It's okay. And I'm excited. I'm just so super jazzed to have you here today. So Clare, just quickly tell everybody who you are and what you do, and we'll get stuck in.
Hey Gillian, I'm so happy to meet you properly in person. I'm Clare Carroll. I live in the southwest of the UK in beautiful Devon. I work in content marketing and I specialise in humanising brands to make them more relatable and to allow businesses to help reach customers and build customer relationships. I advise on content marketing strategy. And I'm also hands-on. I do lots of content creation myself in all sorts of formats. I can edit video as well. So video is definitely one of my very favorites, which is why Gillian and I get on so well. And I just think video is such a great format for helping to get to know people, showing a bit of personality, and for being creative and having fun.
Awesome. Great roundup and overview. So today we are talking about all things video because that is our shared passion. And I have to admit, the very first time that I even learned about you, I saw your video. It was the first piece of content I ever saw, and I was so impressed. I think it was maybe when the video cover stories were coming out, but maybe even earlier than that. I'm thinking it was earlier than that. I remember just seeing your video and just seeing how you talk about humanizing. It was just so calm and gentle and heart-centered. So I would just put those words together for you. Clare does heart-centered videos. What a great thing. I think I have a little banner for that. Look at this. Whoa.
Oh, that's so cute.
That was kind of fun. Okay, so we're talking about all things video today. Clare has done some amazing cover videos for people, and I'm actually writing an article about advanced cover stories because I didn't want to freak everybody out in the beginning, and I wanted to show everybody just kind of simple cover stories, and I did a roundup article. And now I want to do some of the advanced ones because the ones you've been working with people, Clare, are, to me, they're advanced because you're really putting your creative energy into it, especially for people. And we've talked about this before. There's a lot of people that are not comfortable doing video. And while a lot of folks out there will just say, you got to just do the Nike thing, do it, turn on that camera, dare yourself. Clare and I are like one of the few people that says, you know what? It's okay to just dip a toe in and go at your speed. So could you talk about, you did one recently, you showed a cover story that you did for somebody that was, they didn't talk. So do you want to just talk about that for a second?
Well, there was one, I did one with Brianna where she didn't record to video. She did talk, she recorded her voice, and she was quite keen to do a cover story because she sees the benefit of it, which is great, but she just wasn't happy talking to the camera. So we talked about the photos that she had recently had done, and I said, well, why don't you use those? You could kind of build an audiogram style video. So it's her voice and her photographs meshed together with, animated text, basically transcribing what she's saying. And, I used Canva mostly to do that. Yep. And it's been really effective, and she's had amazing feedback on it. It's been really positive. Awesome. In fact, I posted it in the Canva LinkedIn group, and I've had lots of good feedback on it there as well. Perfect. So it's really good.
Perfect. That's great. So one of the things we talk about is captions, because that's one of the things that we're on the same page about. And, it's just amazing that so many people are still not doing captions, and you and I don't understand it because there's so many options. But you have a personal story that you wanted to, you've talked about before about why captions are so important, because I know a lot of people are like, what's the big deal? It's like, if they like me, they'll listen. If they, my people like me, they'll just turn up the sound.
Yeah, I know. This is a real personal topic for me. The first one I just want to say, I ran a poll, and of all the people that responded, only 49% consistently added captions. And I did say that had to include their cover story as well, because you might have creators who think about adding captions to their normal videos, but then they forget to put them on their cover story, which is a real shame. So anyway, I was really disappointed with that low number, and I've spoken to various creators and asked why, and a lot of the time it's, because they don't put in the time, they don't set aside the time to add the captions in. And I think that's such a shame. But yeah, I have a personal attachment to this cause, if you like, because my brother was born profoundly deaf. My mum had German measles when she was pregnant with him, and he was born that way. So he was profoundly deaf, no speech. And, as a little girl, he was 3 years older than me. I grew up watching him really, really struggle to communicate with society and people misunderstanding him. And, even to the point where, he couldn't speak because he didn't hear. So because he was dumb as in silent, couldn't speak, they thought he was dumb as in stupid. And, they treated him differently. They treated him badly. He was bullied at school. I mean, I shared my story recently in a post. I actually got involved in a fight when I was 6 years old, defending him because he was being accused of something he hadn't done just because he was the deaf kid. And I actually remember being picked up by the head teacher. His name was Mr. Dunbar. He picked me up and he carried me to the library. I was sobbing, being dragged out of this fight, protecting my brother. And that I'll never lose that memory. And, as I say, I watched him struggle. And then unfortunately, he passed away when he was only 23. Oh. He died in an accident at work. He actually drowned in the River Thames in an accident. They were working at the riverside, and the inquest actually said they thought, the part of the reason for his death was because there was misunderstanding of safety regulations. So for me, it's very personal. I see this kind of disability out there all the time, and it just incenses me that people don't think or don't care to think about those people and, make content accessible for everybody, because it should be for everybody, shouldn't it? We all want to enjoy it. I mean, if you suddenly lost your hearing one day, you would miss out. And so that's exactly.
Exactly. And well, first of all, heartfelt sympathies on your brother. That's just so sad and tragic on so many levels. And I totally agree that we have so many people that are deaf are hard of hearing. So they're using hearing aids, so we have people with hearing aids, we have people that are deaf. And also too, being the globetrotter that I am now, I know that captioning is so important. Like when I was living in Israel, I would have to look for captions when I was trying to do anything on YouTube. YouTube thought I could speak Hebrew because I was tuning in from Israel. And so I would see things that like naturally came in Hebrew, and I would always have to fumble around hoping that I could find some like English captions and things like that. So I know what it's like to not be able to follow the speaker. And so if I could have those captions going across in English, I could at least understand. And it made me realize that when people are listening to us, if English is a second language for you and you're coming in and you're watching from another country, you might be pretty good with your English, but maybe I talk too fast, or maybe I have an accent that's hard for you to, I got an American accent here. So maybe this accent is hard for you to follow, or if you're Scottish or something like that, there could be dialects you don't understand. So those captions could be good. Plus also recently I was traveling, I was down in Phoenix, and I was in the library, and I was working in the library to use their internet. And I was trying to do some stuff on LinkedIn, and I forgot my headphones, and any video that didn't have captions, I just scrolled on by.
Watch it. You just scroll by. But that's what I do now, Gillian, because I know what it's like to be a creator and have to put in the extra time to do the captions. And I no longer engage with video if there's no captions in it. I just scroll on by because I just think there's a level of respect for all human beings, and it's right to put them on, plus all the other benefits that you've just described. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You should be putting them on. I mean, we'd all love platform-wide auto captioning from LinkedIn themselves, and maybe that's coming. We don't know, but I hope so. But in the meantime, people should be thinking about making content inclusive, definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I see we have some comments. So I'm going to hop over to the comments. Oh my goodness,
Sure.
we have a lot. Okay. So we'll start. We always have our Jeff Young. I love Jeff Young. He's always like in the front row it's like, if it wasn't for Jeff Young,
I
never
need my glasses on to see these.
Yes, I would never know if we're actually here or not. So can't wait to hear what you two have to say and learn from you, Gillian and Claire. Claire is my newest LinkedIn connection, and we are already setting up a Zoom session.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. We talked about this morning, Jeff, that as soon as we saw each other, we were like, is this the first time we've met? Because we feel like we know each other. Because of video. That's what video does. It makes you feel familiar with that person right away. Lovely Lois. Hello, lovely LinkedIn peeps. Excited to see you and learn new things. Hello, Jeff Young. I love how people talk in the comments. I talk in the comments. Oh, we've got our lovely Tina. Good evening from Belgium. And this is very appropriate. I just finished watching Tina's LinkedIn Live earlier with Pete Can, the Laughter Man. It's awesome. Everybody go back and watch that.
I've seen him. He's so funny.
He's so funny. And, I was thinking as I was watching them, how important it is to have that sense of humor. And, he does these like crazy, they're not crazy, but he does these like humor aerobics, and it's like he's laughing and he giggles. And I thought, that's what we should be doing before videos, because when it comes to video, so somber, and it's like, your teeth are clenched and your hands are clenched. And like, maybe you should be going, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good tip, isn't it? I love that. Yeah.
Do like a giggle session and just, get it over with. Maybe watch that scene from Mary Poppins where you love to laugh and they're doing the tea party on the ceiling. Something like that would be good. Jane, yay. Claire, Gillian, yay.
Hello.
Jane's here. Hello. We got Jeff again. Greetings, Lois. How are things across the pond? It's so funny how we call it across the pond, but it is. Makes it smaller. I like this. Good evening, ladies. Eager to hear. Yay. Uh-oh. We always have to have John Espirian here. We always talk about John because John
is his fault that I started doing video. He double dared me, and that was what prompted me to push out my first video. I say first video with me in it. I've been editing videos for quite some time, but it was the first one of me speaking. It was John's fault. He double dared me.
Tell us the story. Was it a Clubhouse thing? Like how did he dare you?
It was I think it was in a post, and we were talking about video, and I think I'd said, I edit video of other people all the time, but I'm not very confident about putting myself in front of the camera. And he'd sort of, I think we'd had this back and forth a few times, and then he just said one day in a comment, "I double dare you." And I just thought, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to show him. And I did a video, and I credited him in the video. I think he was quite surprised it worked. I don't know. We'll have to ask him one day.
Maybe you just have to have John run around double dare, and a double dare is serious stuff.
He does it to other people. I've seen him. I think it's a John thing. So watch out if you make connections with John. He'll be persuading you to do video.
But sometimes that's what we need. We need never a threat, or I think we can sometimes push people before they're ready, and it's like we almost can intimidate people. But there's a difference when it's just a dare or a nudge, knowing that maybe that person just needs that little nudge. But it's different than pushing somebody in a pool before they're ready.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think audiograms are a great way into doing video. It's like that first step. And it's a nice way to humanize a piece of content by having your voice.
Exactly.
Clubhouse is so popular because people connect with other people's voices and they hear the emotion in the voice. And that's why I think audiograms work quite well. So, you know, even if you don't want to do a face to camera cover story or video, audiogram is another alternative, which I do quite a few of for people who are just too busy to do stuff to camera, but they, you know, do interviews, they record them, they send me the recordings, and then I turn them into audiograms.
That's perfect. And, you know, and the audiograms, they're a great way to repurpose podcasts.
Oh, yes.
And I see people do that without the captions, and you're missing out, because it's like, if you just do the waveforms and you're talking, Claire and I are not tuning in. So we're just going to tell you that if you want us to listen to your podcast, put those captions on. And
but also, from a video perspective, having the captions moving, it's part of the engagement and keeping the audience, you know, watching, because the movement of the text, you know, you can use animated text. It does, all that movement on camera does make a difference, or not on camera, on the screen makes a difference.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Okay. Hello to two of my favorite LinkedIn ladies. Yay. Thanks, Jim.
Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Oh, we've got the lovely Rebecca. I don't know you. I'm sure you guys know each other.
Oh, yes, I know Rebecca.
Hello, ladies. Two fantastic video experts. Looking forward to today's chat. Today, it's all relative. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, we got people saying hi to people. It's awesome. Love the video Claire did. Oh yeah. You got to talk about the TikTok trio, the TikTok trio. So tell us that story. That's a fabulous story.
Well, that was started by the LinkedIn for Creators. They put out a post saying they wanted to encourage creators to collaborate with each other. And so they put out an idea that, you know, reach out to another creator, do a collaboration. And Mamita reached out straight away. She jumped on it to myself and Ilya Francis. And we just very quickly, she said, I've got this idea. What do you think? And we just were like, jumped on it massively quickly. And the idea was to do the magic bomb, where obviously you're doing the hand movements, flicking your hands up. And we had to convey in those movements our sort of top tips for getting people started on LinkedIn. And it was a funny video to do because we're all in different places. So Moo's obviously in New Zealand, Ilya in Canada, me in the UK. So we all recorded our own little video, and it was quite complex pulling it all together into the video in the end, because we all recorded it to slightly different versions of the music. I had to strip all the music off the recordings that they sent to me, mash us all together, then put the music back in and fit all the timing, so all the timing worked with the hand movements again, fixing the freeze frames because we wanted it to look like we were together but just passing the button over. But so it all came together super quick. And wow, the response we had has been incredible. I think the last time I spoke to Mo, she said she'd had over 7,000 views on her post. What we did is each of us posted it together simultaneously. I think I've had something like 600 views on mine, and I think Ilya might have had something similar. Mo had 7,000 because hers peak was at the beginning of her peak of her day, and you know, it just flew. So collectively, we've had an amazing response, and it's been brilliant.
Wow.
We might have something else planned. We might have another little thing in the works. I'm not going to give anything away.
That's good. That's good. And to be honest with you, that would be a really great thing to write up as a LinkedIn article of kind of a behind the scenes of like how we did it. And then, you know, even because like you think about how much learning can be had from that one episode in terms of here you've got global, you know, how do you work and collaborate on a global level, and then the editing involved, and then even the difference in posting based upon where you are in the world, what time of day you did it, you know, the engagement. Were you all competing? That would be really interesting to know, that it's like if I put a comment on one person's post, maybe I didn't put a comment on the other person's post because I didn't realize, oh, all three of you. So I don't even know that I commented.
Well, I know you definitely commented on mine. I'm pretty sure you commented on across all three. That was the funny thing, is we had people commenting on one and then coming on going, I've just seen this, but it's brilliant. And I still want to say it again. I mean, we had people comment on all three posts, which is, let's face it, that's quite unusual, isn't it? It was amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll do the same thing where we all post together next time. We have talked about maybe just one person posts. We're not sure. We're going to figure it out. So, but yeah, it was quite an interesting experiment. Actually, it does prove that posting at the right time of day does matter. It does matter, because you've got to have your audience there ready for when you post. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. And I love that, like, because the TikTok videos are those vertical videos, which I don't really care for vertical videos except for in stories and then of course cover stories. But I like that you took the vertical videos, and then now, because there was 3 of them, it turns it into more of the landscape, image.
Exactly. Yeah, that was part of the challenge. I had to put all 3 side by side and then top and tail them, because I wanted to make it square.
Yep.
Because we know that making a video square uses the best amount of screen size, especially on mobile. It's the best way to go. So yeah, it worked okay because it was the 3 of us in vertical. Yeah.
Awesome. So did those also post to TikTok separately? Is that how?
No, they weren't recorded in TikTok at all. So we just recorded on our phones, and then they sent them over to me, and then I put them all together. So I don't know if either of the girls have posted on TikTok. I haven't. Okay. So yeah, we're bringing TikTok to LinkedIn. Who needs TikTok?
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So we have more. Okay. So that, Jeff, great tip. Thank you for bringing that up. That was awesome. Craig, lovely to see you both. Looking forward to this. Yay. We love Craig. We love Craig. I'm one Gillian, still thinking of creating a video. It never was easy. It's so true. It isn't easy. And so, Claire, let's just talk about that for a second, because that's the one thing that we laugh. We get nervous before LinkedIn Lives. It's like you get nervous.
I did. Yeah.
And it's normal. It's a normal part of doing video. And people always mistakenly think, oh, you do video, you never get nervous. And it's like, yes, you do. But I think the difference is you learned to trust yourself, and you don't. I did a post once and I said, I never go for perfection. I'm the Mary Poppins. I believe in practically perfect. You have an intention of, this is what I want to communicate, and I'm just going to go for it. And I know I'm never going to be 100%. I do 3 takes and I choose the best one. That's my secret. I
do the same. I do the same. I take a few takes. I could fill a phone with bloopers. I really could.
I have. It's like every once in a while, I go to back up my phone, and my husband, who's like an IT guy, he'll look at it and he'll say, that's a lot of videos. What are you doing? And I said, oh, they can all go away. I've taken the ones I want now. And he's like,
So yeah, we're all the same, and I think if you focus on perfection, you'll never do it. You'll never do it. There's no such thing. I think I even did a video saying there's no such thing as perfection, because there isn't. It's the same as beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. So what's perfect to you might not be perfect to me. So you never worry about being perfect. There's no such thing.
Yep. And your post that you did today, you had a fabulous phrase, which I love, which is done is better than good. It's like sometimes
perfect. Done is better than perfect.
Done is better than perfect. That's right. Sorry, screwed it
up. That's okay.
But see, I can't even get that right. But but you just say, I always feel that if we're given, if the universe, I say the universe, but who knows, whatever it is to anybody, but it's like, if we're given some sort of idea or inspiration to do something, I think someone wants to hear it. Somebody needs to hear it. And I sometimes say, I don't know who I'm creating this for, but I got this idea and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a video. And sometimes it doesn't even have to be a video. It could be a poll. It could be a text post. It could be anything. But I think every time we create content, it's because we feel somebody needs this message. And I just feel compelled to share it. And sometimes it flops, but maybe it doesn't, because maybe that one person out there saw it and mission accomplished, job
Yeah,
was done.
exactly. I totally agree, Gillian. And what I love about video is that I do feel you connect better with people. You said it at the top of the live, you know, I feel like I already know you really well, Gillian, because I've watched so many of your videos, and it does make a massive difference. And I think if people can, you know, give it a go, they'll be really surprised at the results of how quickly you get to know people.
Yes. And isn't that at the end of the day what you want when you're working with clients, that when you show up on the Zoom call, instead of that awkward, okay, I don't know you, you don't know me, if we can just jump in and say, okay, so let's talk about your problems and let's see how we can solve those. Isn't that a much better, you know, you've kind of gotten all the formalities out of the way, that now we can just kind of roll up our sleeves and get to work, as opposed to, you know, stomping over each other's lines and that sort of thing. So I just think, and also too, some people you immediately know based on their personality and how they come across on video, that it's like, it just wouldn't be a good fit for you. And it doesn't mean that they're not talented. It's just that I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that person. They're just a style that wouldn't harmonize with me.
It's so true, because I've worked with some people, you know, who are incredibly intelligent and smart, but they freeze on camera, and you know, they just don't come across well at all. So we do audiograms, and it works much better.
Yes,
so
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, Lois. Oh, we always love it. I love how people chat in the comments. This is so fun. Captions are so important. Another music guy. I love. I can't see your headline here, but I love your headline with the cat and the music, and it's true.
I make strange cat music or something along those lines.
It's a great line. It's like, I love it because it's like, he sticks out. It's like,
and that's what it's about, isn't it? And that's another thing video does. It makes you stand out from the crowd, because, you know, there's not a huge amount of people doing video consistently, is there?
Yes, absolutely. I love Claire's post about being deaf and how most of us can't lip read. And yes, I am guilty of not doing captions yet.
Yes, that's the right word.
Yeah, because it's true. It's anybody can do captions. And I think I was guilty. And I remember when I first came on LinkedIn, I came across Meryl Evans, and she is a huge, she's deaf, and she's a huge proponent of using captions. And I watched all her videos, and it was just like, I went, oh, I don't even know how to do captions. And it was the first step. And it was like, I think I learned through YouTube, that's all that was out there when I first started. It was just like that, or rev.com. And I went, well, I'm kind of like, I want to do my own stuff. I don't want to just hand it off to somebody else. So I needed to find ways to do it. And now it's like, an awareness happened. I think Meryl had a lot to do with it. An awareness happened of people saying, how can I do this? But she was kind of the pioneer out there saying, and she would talk about auto craptions where, people weren't cleaning them up, and she'd show like, here's her talking in one thing and then her talking another thing. And you'd be like, what is she saying? Those are so important. So important. I struggle with the sea of choices out there for doing captions. I think I am going to go with Subly, as seems easy peasy for me to use. Gillian Whitney. It's true. There's a lot. Maybe Claire, we could talk about,
there's so many apps,
our different choices for captions, because I think it depends on your device. Are you using a computer? Are you using your phone? Are you iPhone? Are you Android? And I know I use different things based upon what device I'm using for my editing as well. So what are your recommendations, Claire?
Well, if I'm on my phone, I have an iPhone, so I use Clips because that's nice and easy, and will auto caption for you, and you can go in, edit it if it's got some things wrong. On my desktop, I happen to use a video editing tool called DaVinci Resolve, where I manually put the captions in. And I am familiar with other ones. I've used ClipChamps a few times. which is quite interesting because obviously Microsoft have bought them now. So
yeah, I'm hoping they'll integrate with LinkedIn.
Yeah, that would be cool. So that would be good news. And I've heard a lot of people talking about Subtitle and obviously Subly, but I haven't used those myself. You probably have more experience with those.
Yeah, yeah. And have you used the captioning in Headliner?
Yes, I've used the transcribe in there as well. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's not too bad actually. It does quite a good job.
Yeah.
With Headliner, I think if you've got a free account with them, they will give you 5 free transcribes and exports of a video a month, and then you have to pay.
Pretty generous.
So 5 a month's not bad.
Yeah,
you know, do a bit with those. I forgot about Headliner. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so that's a good one. Subly is also one I like to use for the desktop. And then some other ones I'd add in is if you're looking for an all-in-one tool for people who are just getting started with video, I always recommend try and see if you can use one tool to do your editing, your captions, your polishing, you know, your graphics and all that sort of stuff.
Makes it easier. Yeah.
Because the less you have to take something and download it and upload it and then get this, and it becomes too much work. So ones I suggest video newbies are Capwing. I like using Capwing because you can do your editing, your captions, and graphics all in one. Veed.io is another one I like to use. Wave .video is another one I like to use as well. And those are 3 programs where you can do everything all in one tool. And I'd have to say Veed and Capwing I like more than Wave. I don't like their editing as much. It's okay for trimming, but not, you know, and I love using Clipchamp on the desktop, but they don't do captioning, which is like, oh, I really wish.
I didn't know you could use it on the desktop, actually.
Yeah, just for editing. It's a fabulous it's an online editor tool. Fabulous for editing. It just doesn't do captions. So you'd have to take it and then do that extra step. And I find for people that burn out, most people can't.
Yeah, I think keep it short and sweet, especially if you're just starting out with video. Don't do a long video, do a short one. Don't worry too much about the editing. Just, you know, get started, get your captions in, and then you can progress on to, you know, all the funky stuff you can do with video afterwards.
Absolutely. So we're kind of hit that 30-minute mark. So we should probably wrap it up here. So Claire, is there any parting words you'd like to share with us? Sage advice on talking all things video to sum up today before we go?
I would just say, if you're thinking about, you know, trying video, if you do need that push of confidence, practice at home, pick up your phone and just start recording clips, talk away as if pretend you're talking to a friend. That is the best thing I can say, is imagine you're chatting to a friend, play around, look at the clips, decide what you like and what you don't like, because sometimes there might be certain mannerisms you do, you think, oh, I couldn't possibly show that because I don't like that, and just notice what they are and then practice not doing them. I do a head flick thing. I try really hard not to do it. But when I see it on camera, I hate it. So I try not to do it. And it's because my hair goes in my eyes. So that's something I noticed that I hated. And now I try not to do it. And I feel much more confident. And when you feel confident, you come across better. So yeah, just practice at home and just, you know, give it a try. And just do something short and sweet. Start with your cover story. It's 30 seconds. That's what I would do.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Claire. This has been awesome. I think we could have talked for 2 hours to be honest. This is so easy. This is so easy. So maybe we'll have you come back again, because I think this was a fabulous chat. Thank you to everybody that in the comments. We didn't even get to everybody's comments, but I will afterwards, even though it's such a pain doing it on LinkedIn now. Don't like that bit about LinkedIn. But anyways, thank you so much, everybody. We'll sign off here and we'll see you all next week with another fab guest. Okay, bye, everybody.